Have you ever looked at someone who seems to be winning in life and wondered, why does everything seem to work for them while you are working just as hard but getting nowhere? What if I told you that hard work is only part of the equation? Imagine spending 10 years climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. That's exactly what happens to millions of people. They wake up every morning, work hard, stay disciplined, and remain consistent, yet they still feel empty, frustrated, and financially stuck. Not because they are lazy, not because they are not smart, but because they are building someone else's dream instead of discovering the gifts they were born with. Here is something I have learned. Money doesn't chase people, money chases value. And the people who create the most value are usually the ones who discover their natural talents earlier and dedicate themselves to mastering them. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 powerful signs that reveal your talents and your directions in life. Stay with me until the end because the 3rd sign is the one most people ignore, even though it has the greatest potential to transform their future. Let's begin. First sign is pay attention to those activities that makes you forget time. When I was younger, I believed success was simple. It's just to study hard, get good grades, find a respectable career, work for 40 years and then retire. That's the formula most of us we are taught. But life doesn't always follow formulas. Some people become doctors even though they secretly love designing buildings. Others become lawyers when their real passion is teaching. Some became accountants while dreaming about becoming filmmakers. They spend years forcing themselves to fit into a life that was never designed for them. Maybe you have experienced something similar. Maybe you have been doing something because everyone says it's the safe option. But every day, you feel like a part of you is missing. That is the first sign that you are ignoring your real gifts. Pay attention to the activities that make you lose track of time. The one that keeps your attention for hours. The one that makes you forget your phone, forget the clock, sometimes even forget to eat. Nobody has to force you to do it. Nobody has to motivate you. You naturally return to it again and again because something inside you comes alive whenever you are doing it. That isn't random. It's a cliff. Nature has a way of pulling us towards what we are naturally designed to become. Unfortunately, many people ignore those clues because society rewards certainty more than curiosity. Parents often encourage children to become whatever seems secure. There is nothing wrong with wanting stability. But imagine how different life could be if every child was encouraged to discover what they naturally excel at before choosing a career. The earlier you discover your strengths, the earlier you can develop them into valuable skills. So here is the challenge. Ask yourself 3 questions. What can I spend hours doing without getting bored? What gives me energy instead of draining me? If money wasn't a problem, what will I still choose to do? Don't answer these questions too quickly. Think deeply because your answer might be pointing directly towards your future. And what I'm about to tell you next might surprise you. Sometimes your talent isn't found in what you enjoy. Sometimes it's found in what keeps bothering you. The second sign is the problem you can't stop thinking about. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked around and thought, why isn't anyone talking about this? Or maybe, why hasn't someone fixed this already? Most people notice problems. Why very few people feel responsible for solving them? That is the difference. Your assignment in life often hides inside the problem that disturbs your heart. Some people can't ignore poverty. Others can't ignore poor education. Some feel deeply moved by mental health. Others become obsessed with improving technology. Everyone notices different things because we aren't all called to solve the same problems. Think about some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. They didn't become wealthy because they chased money. They became wealthy because they solved problems that millions of people were willing to pay to have them solved. That's an important lesson you should know. Money is a reward for value. The greater the value you create, the greater the opportunity that usually follow. But discovering those opportunities requires something many people avoid. That is silence. When you are constantly surrounded by noise, social media, opinions, and comparisons, it's difficult to hear your own instincts. Spend time alone. Reflect. Write your thoughts down. Pay attention to the problems that keep returning to your mind. Those recurring thoughts are rarely accidents. Sometimes they are invitations. If you become known as the person who solves problems other people ignore, you automatically become valuable. And valuable people rarely struggle to find opportunities. Now, let me share the 3rd sign. In my opinion, this is the biggest one. It's also the one that most people completely overlook. That is the number 3 sign that you should pay attention to. What is that thing that feels easy to you that is difficult to others? Have you ever helped someone with something that seemed incredibly easy to you, only for them to respond, "How did you do that so fast?" At first, you probably laughed because to you, It wasn't special. It was just a normal thing. That is exactly why so many people overlook their greatest gifts. What feels ordinary to you may be extraordinary to someone else. I will use myself as an example. As a content creator, I can sometimes create a video in about 30 minutes. Someone else may spend 5 hours creating something similar. Does that make me more intelligent? The answer is no. It simply means I have developed a process that comes naturally to me. That's one of my strengths. Your strength might be completely different. Maybe people always ask you for business advice. Maybe you are naturally good at explaining difficult ideas. Maybe you are excellent at organizing chaos. Maybe you are creative. Maybe you are a great communicator. Maybe you are someone who notices opportunities before everyone else. Whatever it is, don't ignore it simply because it feels easy. People pay for results, not effort. The world doesn't reward what is difficult for you. It rewards the value you constantly provide. Here is another mistake many people make. They spend too much time comparing their journey with someone else's. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to abandon your own calling. Just because someone else becomes successful in one industry doesn't mean that is your own path. Two people can possess similar talents. The difference isn't the talent itself, it's how they develop it, how they package it, how constantly they improve it. Mastering creates separation. Don't chase every trend. Build your own lane. Because when you are exceptionally at solving a valuable problem, people won't need convincing. They will come looking for you. So let's bring everything together. Remember, the first sign is the activity that makes you lose track of time. The second sign is the problem you constantly feel drawn to solve. The third sign is the ability that feels effortless to you, but difficult for everyone else. These aren't guarantees of success. They are signals. Signals pointing you towards the work you may be naturally suited to develop. Talent alone is never enough. It must be sharpened through learning, discipline, practice, and consistency. But once your effort is aligned with your natural strengths, progress often becomes more sustainable and more meaningful. Remember this: your purpose isn't only about making money, but when your purpose creates real value for other people, money often becomes a byproduct of that value. Stop trying to become someone else. Become the best version of yourself. Study your gifts. Develop your skills. Solve meaningful problems. Keep improving every single day. One day, the very thing people overlooked in you could become the reason they look for you. If this video gave you a new perspective, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who feels lost or uncertain about their future. Subscribe if you are committed to building both financial wisdom and personal growth. And remember this before you leave: your future isn't hiding in someone else's past. It's waiting for you to fully develop the gifts that have been within you all along. I will see you in my next video.